We have to be intentional. We have to be purposeful. We have to make moves according to plan. We have to plan our moves. Nothing is going to happen until we decide, right? Nothing absolutely is going to happen until we decide. If there is anything to change, it's going to be us. It's going to be me. It's going to be you, right? If there is anything, absolutely anything that needs to be changed, it has to come from me. It has to start with me. It has to start with me. There is no way we're going to live in a particular way that we never position ourselves accordingly to live in that particular way, right? So let's start from the bottom. We might be struggling to get by, struggling to pay our car note, struggling to pay our mortgage or apartment, struggling to buy food to eat because we have not positioned ourselves. We have not positioned ourselves otherwise. We have not positioned ourselves to be able to have to eat, have to be able to pay our rent, have to be able to pay our mortgage, have to be able to pay our car, have to be able to take care of ourselves, right? But for those who do and continue to do, is because we position ourselves to be able to do so. We position ourselves to get a job. We position ourselves to do something, right? Whether it's a job, you want to call it, a side hustle, something to generate income towards you, right? So that we will be able to have, whether it's a bus pass, right? Ability to get around, to be mobile, right? To get back and forth to that thing that we do, the side hustle or whatever, or in this case, to have a car, to be able to pay for a car or have a car payments or whatever, to be able to have an apartment, pay for the apartment, or a home, to be able to pay for the mortgage, or to having it paid for in that case, should it be, right? But nonetheless, there is a price that we have to pay to live, to breathe. There's a price to everything. There's a price. There's absolutely no way that you're going to find miracle or experience miracle and everything will be out of nowhere. The equipment, the know-how, the power, the strength, the understanding, right? The knowledge is available. All these are available to us, right? We have to desire, we have to want it, pursue it, and then we can match forward as to what we want, how we want to live. And I think when we make a decision to follow a good life, to live a good life, to live a decent life, however you may describe it, and we position ourselves accordingly, right? We position our life accordingly. There is absolutely no way that we're going to miss the mark, right? So, same way, if you say, I am going to own 5 residential multi-unit family homes or multi-family, multi-unit homes, whatever, however you want to call this, multi-unit home real estate, okay? And you begin to work on your credit, right? You begin to save money, right? You begin to do the things you need to do to be ready and be qualified financially to get the mortgage to start, right? You do the necessary things, and if it requires you that you make a little bit more money, in other words, put a little bit more strategy to your side hustle, or get a new job that's going to pay you a little bit more. What does that mean, getting a new job? Quite often you are not even going to get paid more than your wealth. What does that mean? Come back to you, develop you, expand who you are, what you know, right? Expand your understanding. Gravitate towards a particular area that you want to go that seems to pay more than where you were, where you are, right? And understand the industry and pursue it, right? So that you can be marketable, right? So that you can present yourself as a qualified individual who can speak to speak and hopefully have the opportunity to do the work and be compensated accordingly, which in this case will be more. So then you have the opportunity to make more. You cut down your expenses because you're working towards a good credit, right? Being credible is a whole process. So then you can go to the bank. So then the bank can look at your history of working on your finances, and then the bank will say, okay, we think we can work with this guy. Yeah, we think we can work with this lady. And so then you get approval for your first real estate, right? But what you've done, you've made a decision. You engage on a plan to drive yourself towards this goal of buying and owning, what did I say, 5 or 10 multi-unit real estate, multi-unit homes, multi-unit whatever that may be. So once you got one, you've accomplished one. The rest, whether it's 4, I guess I said 5, right? The 4 that is left to make your goal of 5 is just a matter of time. So my point is, because you have started to live life more intentional. You are more driven by purpose. You're more driven by the what and the how, right? You're putting the how into place towards the what you're trying to achieve. It's just a matter of time. It's not a matter of can you. It's a matter of certainly a matter of time, just a matter of time. So I think when we are more purposeful, when we are intentional, everything becomes possible. And that's the good thing that follow good intentions. There's always going to be some benefits, right? If you and that's the thing, right? It's quite interesting. I find that, quite interesting that people could actually position themselves to do bad. But we see it all the time. We ourselves, we experience bad moments in our lives, right? We do. But what I'm saying is, if you were to be this individual who saw opportunity and he said or she said, I want to own 5 multi-unit family homes,